Hey 49ers faithful, the vibe around San Francisco is starting to feel electric again. After everything this team has gone through, the injuries, the lineup changes, the endless questions about depth, it finally feels like things are turning around. The energy, the fight, the mentality, it's all starting to come together. And a lot of that has to do with one man making his way back to the field, George Kittle. His return isn't just about stats or highlight plays. It's about what he represents for this team. Toughness, leadership, and that fearless attitude that the 49ers have always built their identity on. When Kittle is out there, you can feel the offense breathe differently. The blocking improves, the running lanes open up, and suddenly the team looks like that old-school San Francisco squad that just loves to run through people. Against Atlanta, it wasn't flashy, but it was the kind of game that defines who the Niners are: gritty, physical, no-nonsense football. The plan from Kyle Shanahan was crystal clear: dominate on the ground, control the tempo, and wear the Falcons down until they couldn't take another hit. And that's exactly what happened. With Kittle setting the tone in the trenches, the Niners ran for over 150 yards while averaging more than a yard before contact every time he was on the field. That's the impact of an elite tight end who doesn't just catch passes, but changes the entire rhythm of a game. Christian McCaffrey looked like a man on a mission, blasting through gaps, cutting upfield, and reminding everyone why he's in the conversation for best running back in football. When Kittle stepped off the field, the difference was obvious. The running game stalled, the holes disappeared, and suddenly every carry felt like a fight for survival. It just shows how much his presence changes everything for this offense. And speaking of presence, how about him, Jones? The guy's story this season has been wild. Coming in as a backup, thrown into the fire, and still managing to keep this team steady. 4 wins in 5 starts, and now sitting at 5-2 overall. That's no small feat inside the locker room. Players and coaches are talking about how quickly he's grasped Shanahan's system. That's not an easy playbook to digest, especially when you're missing key starters all around you. But Jones has been calm, confident, and decisive. Even with Brock Purdy still dealing with that frustrating turf toe injury, the team isn't panicking. Jones has earned their respect by stepping up and proving that he can lead this team through rough waters. Sure, the offense has had its hiccups, but averaging over 300 passing yards a game is no joke. He's not just managing games. He's making plays, taking risks, and keeping the 49ers competitive while the rest of the offense gets healthy. That resilience was on full display in primetime. Sunday Night Football, all eyes on San Francisco, and the Niners delivered. A 20-10 statement went over Atlanta that showed exactly what this team is made of: heart, grit, and belief. The defense came out swinging, flying to the ball, forcing mistakes, and proving once again that when they're healthy and motivated, they can suffocate any offense in the league. It wasn't just a win on the scoreboard. It was a win of identity. The Niners reminded the league that even when things look shaky, they never back down. They fight for every inch, and that's what makes this team special. Now, the big question around Santa Clara is when Brock Purdy will be back. NBC's sideline report said he's day-to-day, and even he admitted that any wrong movement could set him back. That's the kind of injury that eats at you because it's unpredictable. You feel fine one day, and the next, it flares up again. Purdy himself said it's the most annoying injury he's ever dealt with, and honestly, you could tell he's frustrated. But the silver lining here is that the team doesn't need to rush him. Jones has given them stability, and with Kittle back, plus guys like Ricky Pearsall expected to return soon, the Niners can afford to be smart about it. They're holding the line, staying competitive, and waiting for their full squad to come back together. And you know what? This whole stretch has shown something important. This team has depth and adaptability. Even when they've been hit by injuries, they've found ways to compete. Shanahan's ability to adjust the game plan has been impressive. Against Atlanta, he didn't force the passing game. He leaned into the run, used motion and misdirection, and just played bully ball. It was about sending a message, not just to the Falcons, but to the entire league. The Niners can beat you in multiple ways. They don't need to rely on big plays through the air when they can dominate you physically. Meanwhile, around the league, there's been plenty of chatter about potential trade moves. One name that keeps surfacing is Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals. Word is San Francisco has been showing interest, even though Cincinnati isn't really looking to move him right now. Hendrickson is an absolute beast off the edge, a relentless pass rusher who would fit perfectly in the 49ers' defensive scheme. Imagine pairing him with Nick Bosa. That kind of combination could turn this defense from dangerous to downright terrifying. But Cincinnati's situation complicates things. After their big Thursday night win, they've climbed back into the AFC race. Joe Burrow's return in December could change everything for them, so they might not be ready to sell just yet. Still, if the opportunity opens up, John Lynch would be crazy not to at least make that call. And speaking of dream scenarios, how about Max Crosby? That's the kind of move that could shake the entire league. The Raiders are a mess, and Crosby is too good to be wasting away there. He's young, he's dominant, and he fits perfectly with the Niners culture. Relentless effort, blue-collar mindset, zero quit. You put him alongside Bosa and Fred Warner, and suddenly this defense becomes a nightmare for every quarterback in the NFL. If there's even a slim chance to make that happen, you pull the trigger. San Francisco is in a win-now window, and adding a player like Crosby could be the piece that pushes them over the top. Looking at the bigger picture, the NFL feels wide open this year. The usual powerhouses have shown cracks, and the teams that started hot are beginning to cool off. That's why every move, every adjustment matters right now. For the 49ers, it's not just about surviving the next few weeks. It's about positioning themselves for a deep playoff run. The roster is stacked, the coaching staff knows how to win, and the locker room has the kind of leadership that doesn't panic under pressure. Even with setbacks, this team has stayed composed. That's the mark of a contender. You can see it in how the players carry themselves. No excuses, no finger-pointing. Just work. They've been through adversity before, and each time they've come out stronger. The 5-2 record doesn't tell the full story, because this team hasn't even hit its ceiling yet. Once Purdy returns, once everyone is healthy, and once the chemistry really clicks, watch out. The 49ers are going to look like a completely different beast. And that's what's got the faithful buzzing right now. This isn't just another season. This feels like a chance to prove that all the struggles, all the setbacks, all the near misses, they were just preparation for something bigger. The confidence is back. The identity is back. And if they keep building on what we saw in that one over Atlanta, this could turn into something special. The league better start paying attention, because the Niners aren't just hanging on anymore. They're gearing up for a run. As the dust settles from that hard-fought win over Atlanta, the 49ers find themselves in an interesting position. Confident but cautious, strong but still a bit banged up, and above all, determined to keep their momentum rolling. You can sense it in the locker room, that quiet belief that this group has something special brewing. It's not arrogance, it's conviction. They've been tested early, and instead of breaking, they've found ways to adapt and evolve. That's what separates good teams from great ones. And when you think about the path ahead, it's clear this next stretch of games could define the season. With the schedule tightening and the playoff picture slowly taking shape, every snap, every decision, every inch on the field matters now. Brock Purdy's injury has been the headline, but the real story is how the team has responded to it. There's no panic in that building. The coaching staff has been smart about managing reps, keeping the offense tailored to Jones's strengths, and not overcomplicating things. The game plans have leaned heavily on balance. Run to set up the pass, control the clock, and let the defense dictate tempo. That's classic 49ers football. And honestly, it's refreshing to see. In a league where so many teams try to air it out and live off big plays, San Francisco's ability to grind down opponents feels like a throwback to what made this franchise great in the first place. Jones deserves credit for that. He's handled the pressure like a veteran. Every week, he's looked more comfortable in the pocket, more in sync with his receivers, and more confident running Shanahan's offense. You can tell he's earning the trust of the locker room. The guys rally around him because he doesn't try to do too much. He just plays within the system, makes smart decisions, and lets the playmakers do their thing. And those playmakers are finally starting to get healthy. When Ricky Pearsall returns, when Deebo Samuel gets back to full strength, When Kittle continues to get into rhythm, this offense could start clicking in ways we haven't seen since last season's peak. And then there's Christian McCaffrey. What else can you say about the guy? Every time he touches the ball, something happens. He runs angry, he runs precise, and he has this ability to completely shift the tone of a game. Against Atlanta, his vision and patience were unreal. You could tell that once the offensive line started opening those lanes, McCaffrey was in full control. He's not just a running back, he's an engine. He sets the pace, he wears down defenses, and he creates opportunities for everyone else. That's the kind of player who turns a good offense into a nightmare for opposing coordinators. But while the offense is finding its footing, the defense continues to be the foundation. Week after week, they show why they're still among the most feared units in football. Nick Bosa is heating up, Fred Warner continues to be the heartbeat of that front seven, and the secondary is finally starting to settle in. You can see the chemistry developing. The communication pre-snap, the discipline in coverage, the swarming to the football, it's all coming together. When San Francisco's defense plays with that level of cohesion, they can shut down anyone. And that's what makes the idea of adding another pass rusher, like Trey Hendrickson or even Max Crosby, so intriguing. Not because the defense is lacking, but because the thought of stacking even more pressure off the edge feels like the final step toward building something unstoppable. Now, whether a trade happens or not is out of the player's control. That's on John Lynch and the front office. But you know they're always exploring options. The Niners have never been afraid to make bold moves when the moment is right. They've built this roster with a win-now mindset, and with the window wide open, they'll do whatever it takes to keep pushing. The rest of the league knows that. When San Francisco starts sniffing around trade talks, people pay attention. It's not just noise. It usually means something's cooking behind the scenes. Around the league, there's been chaos. The AFC North is unpredictable. The Dolphins are in free fall, and even the teams that started hot are struggling to stay consistent. It's been one of those seasons where every week feels like a reset button. That's exactly why the 49ers' steadiness stands out. They're not perfect, but they don't get rattled. They don't let outside noise dictate their mindset. Every game plan is focused. Every performance is grounded in physicality and execution. You can tell Shanahan and his staff have built a culture that's bigger than just one game or one player. It's about identity, and that identity is clear, tough, disciplined, relentless football. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers have turned into roars in San Francisco this week, as news spreads that star wide receiver Justin Jefferson has officially signed with the 49ers. Fans poured into Levi's Stadium in a spontaneous celebration that almost felt like a playoff victory, waving banners and chanting his name as if he had already caught his first touchdown pass. Sources close to the team say the signing isn't just about bolstering the offense. It's about sending a statement. The 49ers are here to dominate. Jefferson, known for his jaw-dropping catches and game-changing plays with his previous team, reportedly had multiple suitors, but insiders suggest the lure of playing alongside San Francisco's elite roster and under a coach known for creative offensive schemes tipped the scales. Some whispers even hint at secret meetings in recent months where Jefferson's potential impact was discussed in hushed tones, fueling speculation that this move was brewing long before it hit the headlines. The buzz around the city is electric. Local sports bars are already projecting his first season stats, and merchandise shops are rumored to be bracing for a spike in jersey sales that could rival even the most celebrated 49ers legends. Analysts speculate that Jefferson could transform the 49ers' passing game almost overnight, giving them a weapon that defenses simply cannot ignore. Yet, amid the celebrations, the rumor mill continues. Some suggest that Jefferson's arrival could trigger a domino effect in the league, with other star receivers reevaluating their positions and contracts. Conversations in locker rooms, social media chatter, and even casual coffee shop debates point to one thing. San Francisco has become the center of the NFL universe, if only for the moment. As the city basks in the excitement, one question lingers. How quickly can Jefferson make history in red and gold? Only time will tell, but for now, San Francisco is savoring the rumor that has become reality, welcoming a superstar who could change the face of the franchise for years to come. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.